From the outside, Nike looks like just another sports brand. But what if I told you it hides a powerful, so secret story that it completely changed the world of business and sports forever? This isn't just about shoes. It's about strategy, vision, and a mindset that made Nike the giant it is today. Imagine two unknown men, one a coach, the other a young runner, daring to dream beyond what anyone thought possible. What they created wasn't just a brand, it was a global movement. The question is, how did they do it? Stay with me till the end, because once you know this story, you'll never see Nike the same way again. This is BillionX, and we're unlocking the untold secrets of Nike's rise to power. It all began in 1964, when Phil Knight, a passionate runner with a crazy dream, and Bill Bowerman, a track coach who loved to experiment, joined forces. They didn't have millions of dollars. They didn't even have a real company. They were selling running shoes from the back of Phil's car, driving from race to race, hoping someone would believe in them. What they lacked in resources, they made up for with grit, obsession, and pure belief. Bill wasn't just coaching. He was literally melting rubber in his kitchen to create faster shoes. Every step they took, every shoe they sold, brought them closer to something huge. This is where the Nike journey truly began. One morning, Bill Bowerman was staring at his wife's waffle iron when it hit him. What if the sole of a shoe could grip like a waffle? He rushed to the kitchen, poured rubber into the waffle iron, and created the first prototype of Nike's revolutionary sole. It was ugly, it was messy, but it was genius. That moment transformed Nike from a simple shoe seller to an innovator. They weren't just making shoes, they were creating performance-enhancing weapons for athletes. That strange invention became the heart of the company's future. It's proof that sometimes the craziest ideas are the ones that change the world. In 1971, Nike needed an identity, something bold, something unforgettable. They paid just $35 to a young design student for what would become the world-famous swoosh logo. It wasn't perfect. In fact, Phil Knight himself wasn't sure about it, but they took a chance. That swoosh came to symbolize motion, speed, and victory. It wasn't about the design, it was about what it represented. Every time someone wore it, they weren't just wearing shoes, they were wearing the spirit of champions. This single mark would go on to earn billions, becoming a global icon recognized in every corner of the world. The real explosion happened when Nike signed an unknown rookie named Michael Jordan in 1984. Everyone thought it was a gamble. But Nike saw something no one else did, potential beyond limits. They didn't just give Jordan a shoe. They built an empire around him. Air Jordan. The shoes sold out instantly. They broke records. They rewrote how brands and athletes could work together. That one move turned Nike into a cultural powerhouse. And it proved one thing. Nike doesn't follow trends, they create them. Nike never just sold products. They sold stories. They made people believe they weren't buying shoes, they were buying greatness. Every ad, every campaign whispered the same message: you can do it. They didn't talk about materials or prices. They talked about dreams, passion, and the human spirit. This emotional storytelling connected with millions on a deep level. Nike wasn't just in the sports business, they were in the inspiration business. And that made all the difference. In 1988, Nike launched the most iconic slogan in advertising history: just do it. But very few know the dark story behind it. The line was inspired by the final words of a death row inmate, words that were twisted into a powerful call to action. It was bold, risky, and controversial, but it worked. That three-word slogan became a global anthem for determination, action, and belief. It turned Nike into more than a brand. It turned it into a movement that millions could relate to, no matter who they were. While competitors focused on products, Nike focused on people, athletes who could bring the brand to life. They signed legends like Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, and LeBron James. Each athlete wasn't just wearing Nike, they were living it. Their stories of struggle, triumph, and glory became Nike's stories too. The more these athletes rose, the higher Nike soared. This athlete-first strategy made Nike untouchable in the sports world, fueling a brand loyalty no one could compete with. Nike has never been afraid of controversy. They took risks that most brands would run from, whether it was supporting Colin Kaepernick or standing against injustice. Every time they took a stand, some people hated it, but millions more loved them for it. Nike understood something powerful. If you stand for nothing, you stand for no one. This fearless approach kept them relevant, bold, and respected by the younger generation, which demands authenticity. Nike's success wasn't just built on slogans or stories. It was built on relentless innovation. From air technology to Flyknit to self-lacing shoes, Nike kept pushing the boundaries of what was possible. They invested millions into research, design, and performance to stay ahead. Athletes trusted them not just for style, but for cutting-edge technology that gave them the edge. Innovation became Nike's heartbeat, and it kept them one step ahead of the competition every single time. Nike didn't stop at America. It set its eyes on the entire world. They entered markets others were too scared to touch. From Asia to Europe, they adapted their message, their products, and their campaigns to every culture. They partnered with local athletes, created regional styles, and built a global identity without losing their core message. By the time others caught on, Nike was already everywhere. They understood early. If you want to be the biggest, you have to think beyond borders. When the world went digital, Nike didn't wait. They led. They created apps, connected devices, and online communities where millions of runners, athletes, and fans could share their journeys. Nike wasn't just selling shoes, they were building lifestyles. From Nike Run Club to personalized gear, they used technology to lock people into their ecosystem. The more you ran, trained, or played, the deeper you connected with Nike. It wasn't about a product anymore. It was about belonging. Nike didn't just cater to athletes. They created an entire sneaker culture. Limited editions, exclusive drops, celebrity collaborations. Every pair became a symbol of status and style. The sneakerhead community exploded, and Nike sat at the very top of it. People camped outside stores for days just to own a piece of the magic. This wasn't just fashion, it was obsession. Nike mastered the art of making products people didn't just want, they had to have. Even giants fall, and Nike faced its fair share of scandals, sweatshop accusations, failed products, and public backlash. But every time, they rose stronger. They owned their mistakes, adapted, and rebuilt trust. Where other brands crumbled, Nike transformed challenges into comebacks. Their secret? Never stop moving. In sports and in business, losing doesn't make you a failure. Quitting does. Nike never quit. In today's world, people care about the planet, and Nike saw the shift coming. They invested in eco-friendly materials, circular design, and cleaner manufacturing. From recycled shoes to sustainable collections, they made it clear. The future matters. They turned responsibility into opportunity, staying ahead of both trends and values. Once again, Nike didn't follow, they led. And the world noticed. Nike always understood that sports are not just physical, they are psychological. Every campaign, every product, every message was designed to make people feel like winners before they even stepped onto the field. They knew that the body would follow if you could control the mind. This deep understanding of human psychology gave them an edge no one could copy. Nike wasn't just selling shoes, they were selling belief. And belief can turn ordinary people into legends. More than customers, Nike created fans, people who felt emotionally connected to the brand. Every underdog story, every athlete comeback, every inspirational ad created a deep bond. People didn't just wear Nike, they lived Nike. It wasn't just about sports anymore, it was about identity. When people see the swoosh, they don't just see a brand, they see themselves reflected in it. Their dreams, their struggles, their victories. In the era of social media and viral content, Nike once again stayed ahead. They crafted campaigns that sparked conversations, inspired movements, and made people share, tweet, and talk. Their ads weren't just commercials, they were moments. From breathtaking visuals to emotional stories, Nike mastered the digital world the way they once mastered the track. They understood one thing. Attention is the new currency, and Nike knows how to own it. Today, Nike stands not just as a brand, but as a symbol, a symbol of pushing limits, breaking barriers, and just doing it. The journey from a tiny car trunk to global dominance is built on passion, innovation, and the courage to dream big. But the story isn't over. It's still being written by every athlete, every dreamer, every person who dares to move forward. So if you believe in chasing greatness too, don't forget to hit subscribe and join the BillionX family for more untold stories that inspire and ignite. Your journey starts here.